Hey guys, this is Morphious. In this video I'm going to go over my Druid PvP talents on Classic Era. If you saw the video on the YouTube Shorts, that's a really quick and super dirty video just to try to get it within that minute range. This one I'm going to go into more detail on my talents. Also at the end of the video I'm going to go over my gear as well, but it's a lot of different stuff with the talents, so let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, improved Wrath. I know that cast 0.5 seconds doesn't seem like much, but you feel it once you're using it a lot. Nature's Grasp. Dude, people don't talk about this enough. It's really strong against melee. It's just like awesome. I love it. I use it every single fight. I don't know why people don't. Yeah. Bump it all the way up, man. 65%. It feels like 100% when you're at 65. It feels like 100%. The reduced knockback I think is really big. You're trying to cast a root, that's a really big CC for you. Not having that knockback is really good against warriors, rogues, any sort of melee class. I like the increased crit. Crit in Classic Era is very big. You can get a lot of extra damage out of crits, and you spam Moonfire a lot, man, so you do feel that crit. Now don't even mess with it. This can be good. If you're shifting a lot and you're having trouble with mana, this can be good. 30% of reduction if you go all the way in. I usually only shift to bear about twice in a fight, and I don't do a lot in cat, so for me it's not great, but I think for some people, if you're shifting a lot, it can be really good. This can be really good for kiting. I used to run it, and I feel it now that I don't have it. When I was Boomkin, I would run it, and I've always really liked it, but to be able to get the other things we want, and you just have to make some sacrifices, and this was one of them. I like the increased damage. Again, you use a lot of Moonfire, you use a lot of Starfire, you use a lot of Wrath, so it's pretty big having that. In Feral, either way, this might be better, honestly, if you're using cat a lot or you're doing a decent amount of damage in bear. I just don't. I'm more of a balance Druid geared, so that's what I got it in. Again, just trying to get points, man. This is where it's at, dude. Bash is really big. I use it all the time. It's super awesome. Would highly recommend. Feral Charge, also highly recommend. Really good against casters. You're going to be able to get to them. You're going to be able to interrupt. Really good against hunters. You're going to be able to get on top of them. The only class it's really not good for is melee. But if you're doing some 2v1s or some world PvP, it can be really good to maneuver around. Warsong Gulch really good. So super good move. I love it. Now that I have it, it's hard not to have it. Like in Seasons of Discovery, I don't have it, and I miss it. So Feral Charge is awesome. Resto, yeah, okay, so here's my thing. If I switch into Bear and I can immediately bash, that's really big, right? So that's why I have it there. This might be better. I don't know. Just depends upon... I use bash almost every fight, so this is good for me. The reduced knockback on regrowth, I really like it. This is really big for me. When I was full balance, I would still go into resto just for this, because man, regrowth will save your life when you're trying to hard cast it and a melee's on top of you. Really good. Here I'm just trying to get enough points to ultimately get to Nature Swiftness. Insect Swarm, I really like it for the damage. When you look at it, it doesn't look like much, honestly. It really doesn't. But when you use it and you have a lot of spell power, yeah, it ticks, especially in combination with Moonfire. You watch enough of my videos, most of my damage is dots. Put Moonfire and Insect Swarm on, I'm letting that tick while I'm keeping myself alive. So it's a lot better than you think it would just reading this. I use Rejuve a lot. I mean, ideally you have Rejuve on you at all times in a fight. I don't always do that. Mana's tight on Era, but ideally you would. So this is actually pretty big. And here's the big boy, though. This is the whole reason we went into Resto. And yeah, Nature Swiftness. So your next nature spell is an instant cast. This is super clutch and honestly makes Druid pretty strong. To be able to instant cast a full rank healing touch, right? I mean, that will crit me for a 4k. That'll crit me for my full health. So that's really big. You can instant cast Hibernate if you're fighting against a Druid. Especially in Warsong, dude, if you're playing Warsong a lot, Nature Swiftness Hibernate, the flag carrier is big. Nature Swiftness Root, I don't know, I really don't do that, but you could in a bind. Yeah, and then Nature Swiftness Regrowth, if it's, I'm kind of just being conservative, it's mid-fight. I'm just popping it because, you know, people do 2-shot, so I try to heal myself early. So yeah, Nature Swiftness is awesome. It's the whole reason we go into Resto. So, you know, you got Feral Charge, that's what we're going for here, and the Improved Bash. We're going for Nature Swiftness here, and then I'm just trying to get as much DPS as I can. Again, really good, really good. You know, man, I miss Moonconform, but it's just not that good on Era, honestly. In Seasons of Discovery, yes. With Star Surge, being able to stay in Moonconform, solid. Here, you know, I miss it sometimes, but at the end of the day, man, it's just, this is a more technical setup, but it really does pay off. So I like it. Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about gear, man. Haven't talked about gear yet. When I look at these gloves, this is perfect. Then that's why I want to show these gloves first. These are the stats that I want to see. You know, if I'm talking about prio on stats, I'm saying increased damage is number 1, and then I'm gonna say crit, maybe it's up there, stamina, and then intellect. So increased damage, stamina, intellect, and then you know, crit is great. Again, here's another perfect example. I look at this piece of gear and I say that was made for a PvP balanced druid. I love that piece of gear. Dude, I wish I had more T2.5. Your boy's just been, I don't know, dude. I ran AQ40 a long time ago, quite a few times, and it just didn't happen. But the pants are great. Yeah, if you can get more T2.5, go for it, because it's awesome. That 3 set is really big. Wouldn't go for a 5 set, though, but the 3 set I would go for. Nah, these are okay. I just don't have anything better, to be honest. But again, if you look at the stats, though, I mean, you got your damage, you got your stamina, and your intellect. So, gotta have crit. You know, you're looking for 3%. Sorry, hit. You're looking for 3% hit here. So there's my hit. And again, look at these stats, man. It's consistent. Like, this is what I want to see. Increased spell damage, stamina, intellect. Yeah, same thing here, man. I mean, it's the best PvP trinket. Like, people can argue otherwise with other things, but just in terms of just the core basic principles of the game, CCs are the best move in the game. The right CC at the right time will win you a fight. The right trinket of a CC at the right time will also win you a fight. Best trinket, man. I think this is great. I don't know, dude. I know it's early phase, man, but I love that freaking trinket. To be able to also have the increased healing and it be 400 is really big. You pop that, and then you pop Nature Swiftness, and then a max rank healing, like healing touch, dude. That's yeah, solid. You're full health there. Other trinkets, man, super good. Arena Grand Marshal would suggest. If you can get Burrower Shell, dude, Burrower Shell's freaking awesome. Good against melee, you know, rogues, warriors. You probably really shouldn't need to use this on a warrior, but rogues can be good. Made by Rob the Rogue. Boots are awesome, man. I guess I didn't really mention this earlier, but rocket boots are pretty awesome. Yeah, they'll save your ass at the right time. Reflectors, always good. This isn't great, but I have it. Reflectors, this is just if everything is on cooldown, I toss that on. Man, if I was smart enough, I would use this more often, but I just haven't really got in the habit of using it in my rotation, but it's good. Doesn't hit as hard as you think it would, but still fun in fights for sure. Yeah, I think that's everything there. You know, Moonfire, big part of my damage. It's the best idol in my opinion. Not great, but again, look at the stats, man. Just base stats. I like it. I would prefer something with crit, though. There's definitely better offhands here. I just don't have them. Into Dreams, I mean, someone could argue differently, but I'd say this is the best one-hander you can have on Classic Era as a Druid. Very good, especially for what I do with the additional switching into Bear and things like that. If you're smart and you can get into Cat too and do stuff like that, even better. But yeah, Into Dreams, freaking awesome. If you can get it, you'll love it. Super cool weapon. They're pretty good. They're alright. Again, base stats are there. I'd prefer something with leather and something with crit on it. I just don't have it. Bro, Silverwing Battle Tabard, Bis Tabard, for sure. Exalted in yeah, whatever, Warsong Gulch. The old school way, it takes forever. This is pretty good, man. I don't use it against melee if I can. I mean, it's not like I'm switching gear that often, but against melee, I like to use the T2.5 chest piece, for sure. But against casters, it's pretty awesome. And even against, a lot of melee, if you're doing it right, they're not hitting you as much. Look at those freaking stats, dude. 25 stamina, 19 intellect, and 53 spell power. Like, this thing is awesome. Again, just trying to get that 3% hit. I've got some other capes that are pretty good, but to get 3% hit, here we are. I would prefer something with stamina if I could. I've got this one. It's alright. I don't think it's as good, though. These are trash, and I have literally never gotten good shoulders. You would be amazed the amount of times that I have ran Naxx and AQ40 and BWL and everything, and I've never gotten good shoulders. It's just how it goes, man. It's okay, it's Naxx. Again, look at the base stats: stamina, intellect, spell power. Straightforward. There are better necklaces out there. I will say this one's pretty sweet. I definitely throw this on sometimes. I don't know, 2% crit. Hit? Yeah, crit. I'm sorry, guys. It's late at night. Crit. Yeah, it's pretty good. I do like this a lot, but in terms of just overall damage, a lot of my damage is dots, so I do the spell power over the crit here. Rocket helm. I kind of live in a rocket helm. It's one of those things that at the time, man, you're gonna think to yourself, why am I wearing this? I'm missing all the stats. But once you use it and it saves you or it wins you a fight in like a cool way, it definitely makes it feel worth it. I do use the T1 helm, surprisingly enough, just because it's got a lot of base stats on it that I like. T3 helm would also be good here. T2.5 helm would probably be bis here. I'm not full bis, I've got a decent amount of bis gear, but I'm not full bis. I think T2.5 would be good here. So if I could have that with the chest and then the legs, that's how I would run it. And then boots, I know there's some better boots somewhere, I just can't remember what they are right now. This is alright. Skull of Impending Doom, yeah, man, get it. It's tough for druids though. With our mana management, it already sucks. So Skull kind of like, I don't know. You have to be skilled with it and be smart with it and get ready to cancel it. Make sure you have a cancel macro if you have Skull, so you don't kill yourself with it. I use these boots sometimes against melee. They're not that bad, but they're not that great either. Boots, something also I don't have a lot of. Yeah, I feel like that's most of the gear. I hope that's helpful, guys. I'm not the best druid out there. There are other people that have come up with better setups, probably. This is just what I run. Devils also has a really good setup, and it's a little bit similar. He does a lot more feral stuff, so he's got a lot more like armor and some more agility gear and stuff like that. Kind of stuff with this kind of stats where they're all over the place, but so he also has a good guide, and I really like his gameplay as well. But that's the rundown. I hope it was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to see some Seasons of Discovery talents and stuff like that, those are going to come up soon as well, eventually. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.